we are having more and more participants join us. And thank you all for joining us from a variety of time zones. So, afternoon, evening, whoever you're joining from, wherever you're joining from. And really special thanks to our hosts, Vinoth and Anjali, especially Anjali, who I think past 12 now, right, Anjali? So thank you so much for hosting this, right? And really appreciate it. Perfect. So we'll get started today. Nothing technical. There's a very, very straightforward session that we are doing today here. And it's a pleasure and a privilege for me to present to the audience of Women Who Code. I've been listening, I've been, knowing Women Who Code or hearing about Women Who Code since quite a few years now. Decent work, great work done across, multiple years, multiple segments. And it's really impressive, the kind of work that I've seen happen from this organization. So yeah, the straightforward topic is career opportunities in blockchain technology. And I really believe that this is the moment to get into blockchain technology. Not only myself, it is everywhere that you see. I mean, and every educator who's out there, or even other people like entrepreneurs like me who are also educators, but trying to spread as much blockchain awareness and knowledge as possible. Just today afternoon, I was looking at a video of another educator who's also a great developer, and he was saying the same thing, that you are practically doing a sin, committing a sin if you're not getting into blockchain technology right now, especially if you're already into computer science. So this is even true for people who have never done any kind of computer science, can start from scratch and choose blockchain technology as their first stepping stone to do something. So career opportunities in blockchain, the target is that in the next 45-50 minutes, which we have here, is the target is that I will walk you through a few of the facts that we know. I'll walk you through career pathways. So let me go to the agenda screen soon. So, a few of the career pathways that you as a potential blockchain developer or a potential blockchain personnel, anything that you want to do in blockchain can take up. And then accordingly, how you can shape your career or how you can shape your learning. Right. So let's get started. So Vinod gave an introduction. Thanks for that, Vinod. I'm all about blockchain since the last 4.5-5 years. I've been an engineer myself. Blockchain engineer, and then have been taking these lectures, have written books on blockchain, and now and this is my second startup that I'm doing on blockchain. And thankfully it has become India's largest blockchain platform, with working with over $500 million worth of assets on the blockchain, tokenized on the blockchain. It's a permission network, something maybe you'll learn about very soon. So yeah, reach out to me. My credentials are on screen. Maybe take a screenshot. I'm very accessible over even WhatsApp and LinkedIn. Anything about blockchain, even maybe 2-3 years from now, if you really are serious about blockchain and get into development, please do reach out. And also, good point to note: we are a core blockchain company. We are a product company. We are usually always hiring in blockchain roles. Even right now, we are hiring 2 different senior and junior roles in blockchain. So please reach out if some of you are already in blockchain, have some experience writing smart contracts, and have some experience with Solidity or public and private and permission blockchains. Please reach out and send us your CV. And we are hiring, and we are going to close that very soon. So it's usually always open. All right. So yeah, the purpose for the next 60 or now 50 minutes is to actually introduce you to the emerging opportunities in blockchain and talk about the pathways that you can take. Straightforward as that can be. And let's get started. This is on the agenda. First, we will discuss about status quo. Already told you career pathways, and this is the most important part. Once you understand the career pathways, that what are the various pathways that you can take, we will see that what is the roadmap to blockchain development. Very simple, 4 slides. Maybe if you want depth, you can, based on what you see here, you can search on your own, or again get in touch, and we'll be happy to share what you should be doing. Even maybe some resource. Okay, I also share some resources with this presentation at the end. So after this session, maybe I'll share the presentation with Anjali or Vinoth, and if like she can share on the Slack. Feel free to take a look at those resources. There are some good case studies. I think there are some good links to start with as well. Yeah, please do take a look at the resources part. It would give you a good head start if you're encouraged by today's session and then want to get into it full time. All right, and then at the end, if we have some time, it's a very 2-minute, 5-minute kind of a very quick taste of blockchain we can get. I want to show you people who may have already seen some explorers. Here, I want to show you how public, how transparent, but how anonymous still everything is there on blockchain. And the core of the word called decentralization, the entire story behind the word called decentralization, where does it come from, right? Why is it important, and why being open, everything being open, then everything being transparent, but still strategically being very anonymous, how all of these factors and characteristics come together to form the industry or form the world of blockchain technology, and how businesses, entities, people, developers, traders, all of them, just how they make use of these. We'll see how open and public it is. All right. Yeah, at any point in time, again, mandatory notice that at any point in time, if you have any question, we have still till now, we have fairly low amount of people. So if any point in time you have a very specific question, feel free to write in the chat. I'll do one thing. I'll just open the chat and put it on my monitor. So yeah, if you write any chat and yeah, okay, I think Hema has also written there. Yeah, so you can write in the Q&A or in the chat, because the chat is open in front of me, and I'll take a question, and please, then you must come, like you can unmute yourself, and we'll have a good discussion, right? This is not a technical session, so there would be no questions which would need, a 20-minute explanation. So any question should be good to go, right? Would help everyone who's there, who's attending this. All right. So yeah, please do write your questions. So let's see. Let's take a look at some of the, what's happening in the status quo. As you can see here, please read it. In fact, feel free to read it, right? A handful of individuals control the algorithms of the world. Who are these handful of people, by the way? Might not sound, people who are very new to blockchain, people who are very new to decentralization, might not, connect with this at the very first go. But I'm telling you, this is everything that almost, 90-95% of the products that you interact with, organizations that you interact with, actions that you take on a single given day. For almost 99% of the people here, I believe, and in all their lives, almost 90-95% of such actions and products that you use or interact with, they are centralized. Your bank is a centralized entity. Google, centralized entity, something that you really don't, get away through an entire day without using. All these things, right? Many such examples that you will see, start pondering upon, and you'll get to understand that how many centralized entities you interact with on a very day-to-day basis. Now, where's the problem? Why did in 2009-10 this thing came up? Blockchain was there, by the way, but Bitcoin became, of course, Bitcoin, you must have all heard, became the first such good implementation, which brought out blockchain technology to the public, and people started knowing about it. So why? What is the core thought process, the idea behind coming up with something like blockchain, which is so transparent, which is immutable? Two main characteristics, transparent and immutable. So that's what, decentralization is all about, putting the power of something, any action, any mechanism, any process into the hands of more than a single entity. Because a single entity means that it's a centralized affair, and you lose control when you put control in a centralized entity's hands. So that's why you can see that, the statement was actually done by Tyler Winklevoss. I don't think I need to say who Tyler Winklevoss is. All of you must have seen, must have known about Facebook and its rivalry with the original creators of Harvard Connection. So Tyler Winklevoss and Cameron Winklevoss. So this was a statement. They now run a very, very fledgling cryptocurrency exchange. In fact, they are one of the early entrants into the Bitcoin domain. So Tyler's this statement that a handful of individuals control the algorithms of the world. This is what it means, that yes, everything that you're interacting with is practically centralized. It does not happen that when, on a fine morning, you wake up and you see that something has messed up with your bank account, even though it happens, and then you block and stuff. But all right, but whatever happens is usually done by another user and not the bank itself. But try to understand, centralization entirely means that one day you wake up and you see that maybe any bank that you're using, that you're a customer of, the bank just says that, okay, yesterday you think that yesterday you transferred $1,000 to someone else. The bank shows a debit on your account, on your ledger, but not a credit on the other person's account. Hence, you don't get the product you paid for. Yeah, it does not happen really because there's a lot of regulation in place. But yeah, the core complexity, the entire complexity boils down to this core idea that what happens if someday this happens and then you are out of luck. Because what you can do as a repercussion is that just go to that centralized entity, nowhere else, right? Maybe claim to the regulator and try out all these steps, but the core information is confined within the silo, which is the centralized bank. Again, bank is just an example. Similarly, if you're putting your data into the hands of Google or Facebook, they are centralized silos, right? You've heard about this. And does not matter whatever metaverse or anything that you're entering, ultimately it is centralized. So that's where you have to understand that where decentralization comes into the picture. What it means is that everything is going to be in the hands of multiple people or multiple nodes, multiple computers. So just like a centralized bank, if you are working with the Bitcoin network, what essentially you're working with is thousands and thousands of nodes, individual systems, computers, or there are certain specific integrated circuits like called ASICs, application specific integrated circuits. They are the systems itself, and they handle only one thing, which is like mining on the Bitcoin network. So you are actually interacting with such thousands and thousands of such nodes. Now, anyone who wants to, who tries to mess up with your transaction done maybe 2 days back, wants to go back and do something, it becomes so difficult. Why does it become so difficult? First of all, there's a lot of tech behind it. Without even talking about the tech, just imagine thousands of people, just like earlier in the earlier example, only the bank was writing it in its ledger that you gave $1,000 to someone else. Here you have to understand that thousands of people are at the same time writing it in their all ledgers that, okay, you gave 1,000 Bitcoins, or say 1 Bitcoin to someone else. Now, if someone wants to do something on their own ledger, every other, out of all those thousands of nodes, every other person could say that, hey, why does your ledger not match with all of our ledgers? So see, finding out who is the culprit or who did something to mess up with the blockchain was immediately found out. That is the whole concept of decentralization. You put your trust, you did put your trust. It's not like it's a trust. People call it a trustless system. They call it that way essentially because, you don't need to put trust in just a single entity. But you did put a trust. You put trust in an entire group of people. And that way your trust was decentralized. And that way, there was a large chunk of your trust, again, the trust that you put, a large chunk of it could call out that part which went out of your trust. So that's what decentralization is all about. And in just over a decade, you can see that, blockchain-based products and processes have been started to be used by consumers worldwide. In my startup, we have a platform which offers a very simple loan product. Do you know who that loan product is actually used by? It is used by farmers. Over 12,000 farmers we have already served. It is used by someone as a simple segment such as the farmers, who are not even basic tech savvy sometimes, but they are using blockchain technology. Of course, they don't need to interact with blockchain nodes. They don't need to interact with blockchain wallet or MetaMask on your Chrome browser or private key, public key. No, obviously not. They don't need to do that. That's how we have designed the system. But they are using blockchain system, right? It's all running on blockchain system. They don't know about it. They don't know that such a complicated piece of technology is actually running their loan product. But that's where this comes into, the essence of this is that every single segment should start using something so powerful like this and reap the benefits. So yeah, so a lot of consumers have started using this across the world. Another important statistics to share, there are over 8 to 10 million engineers all across the world. Even sometimes more. This is one of the data that I found. I believe that it is even more, because even a country like India produces, almost, has at the moment more than 2.5 lakh IT engineers. So I believe the entire world would be having more. But okay, let's take a conservative number, which is 8 million. 0.25% is till now, whatever the research has found, that just 1 in 400 is the number of people, the IT engineers, who know anything about blockchain. Now, this is where I start telling you how important you should now try understanding or connecting with this, that how important it is for you to jump in onto the bandwagon right now, maybe tonight if possible. And I would encourage that, just look at the resources even at the end of the presentation, and that should be enough to get you head started if you're not into blockchain already. I would be very happy to hear. I would be very happy. Okay, so I think so. Mr. Rahman has given a long message. So just Ashfaq, just give me some time to read that. Okay, I think a lot of Squid Game and all is there, but let me see. Okay, just I'll come to that. It's a huge question, but yeah, I'll take that up. So okay, so but yeah, thanks guys. Please keep questions coming in, and I would, the minute in the meanwhile, I'll take up these questions. Please, Ashfaq, there's no sorry at all, because questions is what I believe should be coming in, because someone's questions would be an answer. I might not answer everything with my presentation, but questions I would answer will actually be for everyone, because today it's not technical about blockchain. So everything is all about how you can grab this opportunity. Thanks for this question, by the way. All right, so yeah, coming back. So that's the kind of amount of people who are there. Now just compare it with any other industry. Say for example, Java engineers, right? Python engineers. Do you think you'll see these kinds of odds? I mean, people who bet, who know, would know that what it means to have better odds. I don't think as an engineer you would have any better odds in any other industry than this, what you're seeing on screen right now. And this is just changing. If maybe I give this session after 3 months or 2 months, maybe I'll change it to 50 in 400, right? Or 25 in 400, right? That will become, your competition would become 25 times more, more difficult at that point in time. That's at the speed at which people are definitely getting in. Lots of universities, see, the women who code blockchain now is trying to do this, with the session, trying to create awareness. IITs in India, a lot of universities, good business schools, even business schools who have nothing to do with blockchain primarily, are now bringing themselves up to speed in blockchain. Some of them that I've been associated with are moving at really fast speed, which shows that they are very serious now about spreading this blockchain awareness, because you can see the opportunity here, not only for you guys as learners, but also for people who teach, like me, of course, or institutes or universities. Again, huge opportunities to get in right now. So yeah, so these are the kinds of odds that you have right now to get into blockchain. So what's at stake? Salaries for ready to be deployed techies with blockchain experience are at least twice, 1.5 times to 2 times than those without blockchain expertise. This sentence was, I think, given by Randstad, India CEO. And my bad, the number I have written is actually in Indian rupees. I forgot to change that. So you can say that as an average in US dollars, a minimum, a monthly minimum USD, salary is definitely going very beyond, sometimes beyond, 5 to 6,000 USD. That's good starting point, and that's starting point I'm talking about, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, any kind of 5K USDs or so is easily a monthly salary that's coming up for blockchain and solidity engineers. Just do a simple search, and you'll find that what kind of opportunities are there. 6-figure in USD, 6-figure yearly salaries of offers are there all around now, because everyone wants to come into blockchain. At the end of the slides, as I told you, there are 2 case studies given. One is Nescafe, who have put their entire blockchain onto the entire supply chain, coffee supply chain, onto blockchain with the help of IBM. So good conglomerates, good companies coming together and creating their entire blockchain offerings. And then, another case study is on Maersk, which is one of the largest shipping companies in the world. And they have also implemented blockchain successfully at their end. This shows you that every other company, small, big, startup, or conglomerate, are now requiring blockchain engineers, and great salaries are coming up in that domain, in that experience. So this is something maybe you should definitely take a look at. And that's the kind of opportunities that have started to build up in blockchain now. And the good thing is that, 5 years or 3-4 years back, 5 years back, maybe the amount of knowledge or the amount of resources available on the internet was very low. At that time, it was not even good quality. Even a great project like Ethereum had a very poor documentation, and very subpar documentation and tutorials at that point in time, 2017, 16, 15 and a half, I'm saying. Nowadays, every YouTube channel, every Medium blog is sharing great resources on blockchain. So now is, again, a very good time to get yourself started in a lot of speed, maybe much higher speed as compared to myself when maybe back in 2016 or 17, right? So this shows you that, why is it the right time to get in. Now, discussed about people who want to take jobs in blockchain. What if you want to be an entrepreneur? Maybe this was the question I asked myself as well. What are the opportunities if I want to, start up something in blockchain? You can see blockchain funding in the first half of 2021 has hit record high. And it's supposed to go high by the end of the year, very high by the end of the year, and break many records. And that is also because, earlier there was a lot of, confusion about where is blockchain and crypto going. So again, blockchain is separate, crypto is separate. Crypto is an implementation of blockchain. Most people have come to know about blockchain mostly because of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and all the advertisements you've started seeing of cryptocurrencies. But some areas in some countries and some geographies, cryptocurrencies are in a bit of a gray area regulation wise. Blockchain is not in gray area in any jurisdiction that I know of. All right. So essentially, you have to just check that what you're working on and how legal it is in your country. But if you're working purely on blockchains in the last 2.5 years, the platform that we built has had nothing to do with crypto. And we've been working with banks, we've been working with the government. So even though crypto was in a gray area in India, but we didn't face any problem because we were working without crypto. Now we are getting into crypto as we step into decentralized finance, which is again the next big thing in blockchain. So things are changing, but yeah, these gray areas are less gray now, and people are able to see that governments are not outrightly banning cryptos. Governments are not outrightly putting people dealing in cryptos into jail, which actually happened back in 2016, 17, 18 also, and that's where the confusion and all. So you can see that as an entrepreneur, you have really good prospects. Just search or just follow some of these blogs or some of the news websites. You'll see every other day, as an entrepreneur, you should be seeing these. Every other day, you would see that so many companies are getting a lot of funding in the blockchain space as well, as you can see in this graph as well. And on a day-to-day basis, you can see all these happening. This also essentially shows that the more number of such fundings happen, that indirectly also shows that those companies would be hiring really good blockchain engineers as well. If you got a couple of $1 million funding at the beginning of your journey, you would be paying hefty for your blockchain engineers as well. You don't have a problem, right? Someone like us, maybe we are still bootstrapped, so we do pay good salaries, but still conservative on that. But yeah, there are really good salaries coming out of all these fundings that are happening in the blockchain space. All right, quick check on time. Okay, so I'll skip this. So yeah, this is India's Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. He has outrightly said, let me see if I can play this, right? So he has outrightly said, let's leave this in the interest of time. He has outrightly said, though he was joking at this very video clip that I have here, he was joking. The joke he made was that anything that you're doing right now is definitely attracting a lot of funding. But if you want your investors to empty their pockets, just tell them one thing: you are on blockchain. You are using blockchain. You're using blockchain technology. This is what he says, right? So yeah, that's pretty funny. It does not happen that way, but this shows that even the government is becoming less gray towards all these new technologies, which have been problematic for the government in the past. And of course, with these supports like El Salvador making Bitcoin a legal tender, then other countries considering the same, then most of cryptos now being also creating stable coins, which are used by more people. All these things, which reduces the volatility in the kind of experiments that happen in crypto. All these things will make governments more comfortable, and they're opening up. They understand, okay, that this is the next thing that's happening. So there is nothing that we can do. So yeah, essentially that's where you can see that things are really changing. This is us. This is our Prime Minister saying, and I know that how people from all across the globe, of course, El Salvador's president, then many other governments, they're outrightly now accepting cryptocurrencies as well. Blockchain, I already told you, people are using blockchain day and night, and there has not been a problem since years now. All right. Okay, let me see. Any doubts, guys, till now? I don't think we have covered anything technical, but still, any doubt? Let me take this question. So Ashfaq has written, I am a newbie to this blog. Ashfaq, would you like to come on mic and actually summarize what you want to say? And then let's answer it for you.
Hi. Sorry for the long questions. My question is, I know the cryptocurrency is a very small part of this large blockchain technology. So this the main attraction of this blockchain technology, in my opinion, is the decentralization part. But recently we have seen some token like Squid Game and Shiba Inu, like they are held by the few. Most coins are held by the few wallets. So. And thus resulting some rug pulling cases. So I know it's some unique incident, but do you think that this type of incidents can impact the usefulness or popularity of this technology? Thank you.
Sure, Ashfaq. So this is a very good question, and for everyone, what I'm about to answer, it should be important for everyone here. So two parts. First of all, yes, blockchain's implementation has been mostly into when companies and organizations and entities are trying to embrace decentralization, trying to make their products and processes and offerings more transparent to the user. For example, an airline company does their entire insurance, in-flight insurance on the blockchain. So people are buying the insurance more because they know that everything is smart contract controlled, and they don't have to run behind the airline company to get their insurance money. So all these things are making the entire the entire process of a company transparent. So people are accepting that, using that. In addition to that, so that is one part. So yes, blockchain sees more appearance there. In addition to that, these kinds of incidents that you've talked about are purely crypto related, right? This kind of thing does not have anything to do with the core technology, which is blockchain. So if you talk about crypto, again, there are certain basics that you should learn when dealing in crypto. That's why just about a minute ago, when I was saying that more and more people have started using stable coins, is because stable coins hold a value. They are pegged to a particular, say, USD or INR or any such currency. And they will be pegged to that currency, and they'll maintain that particular currency. So you have to understand that, if you're going into a token like Squid or a token like Shiba Inu, where Elon Musk might have a lot of impact on this particular coin's price, or even like Dogecoin earlier, a few weeks earlier, and there are so many coins, right? There are thousands and thousands of coins. If you visit Coin Market Cap, you'll see that there are so many coins. But then there is also something called the market cap. There is also, okay, market cap is even huge for Shiba sheep, but there is also, that there are top 10, top 20 coins. How did they become top 10, top 20? Because not only about their market capital, but also because of the kind of users they've had, right? The kind of investors they've had. Now with decentralized finance in picture, where people are really interacting with DeFi, let's not go into DeFi a lot. There you would see that mostly people are using stable coins like DAI or USDC, and then good coins like Ethereum or similar ones, right? So this is what shows that, okay, these coins have been volatile because crypto is volatile in nature. But yeah, you now know that Bitcoin would not one day become zero and then something like that, right? It's not going to be the next day, right? But Shiba Inu can definitely tomorrow become zero. You don't have a really strong backing behind it to say that it won't go zero, right? And again, it's like controlled by whales, a lot of single individual wallets controlling a lot of Dogecoin or a lot of sheep coins, right? So yeah, this is something that you all should be aware about. Learn a bit of crypto first before putting your hard-earned money into crypto. That's very important. And why not learn blockchain first and then parallelly go into crypto? And you'll automatically be in a better position, right? You don't need to be in blockchain for 4 or 5 years to understand that whether SHIB is a good coin to invest or not. You just have to start things off, right? Just don't be someone with zero knowledge on blockchain and then jumping right into crypto and also into your own ideas like, okay, I'll invest in whatever comes up on the screen, right? If you're very new and you just want to start with crypto, then follow other people, follow what others are doing, right? That should be good to good to be there, right? I hope I answered your question, Ashfaq. Yeah. All right. Thanks for your message, Ashfaq. All right, great. Any other questions, guys? Do put in the chat, and I'll just take up in a bit. All right. So career pathways, important career pathways. 10 or 5 years. So I'll speed up a bit. What all to learn? Where all to go? Right. Before that, let's take a bird's eye view. First of all, what many think blockchain is, some of it I have just answered. People do think that it's a new hype based around cryptocurrencies. As I was saying earlier, any session that I teach, people actually read on the poster, they read about blockchain, and then the first question that comes out is actually on crypto. I like what also happened with Ashfaq. The first question was on crypto. This is what naturally happens, right? Because this is what you've been hearing all day long regarding crypto from all these sources, Google and all other news sources and all. It is definitely one implementation is cryptocurrencies. People will speculate, and people do win lots of money, do lose lots of money as well, right? But that's what people think that blockchain is. But what I've been saying, and what by now you should have already gotten a good understanding of, is that it's a revolutionary piece of technology, works across decentralized technology, brings in decentralized technology. This can replace the current centralized architecture, centralized processes, and centralized entities that you interact with, as we said earlier, and with a more transparent, more immutable. Why did people start favoring open source code so much years back. Same thing with blockchain. It's more open. It's immutable. You cannot do frauds there. Our main USP in my company, my blockchain network, the USP is that we prevent banks from facing, we enable banks to prevent frauds by providing them with this immutable piece of open data. They know that nothing has been hampered with in that data. So yeah, so that's what blockchain is essentially. So what are the journeys? These are the career pathways. What I was talking about, this is the highlight of this particular session. So where can you start? You must start. You can start first of all from the left side of the screen here, that core blockchain developer, with the resources that I shared today, or with a basic search that you do maybe on YouTube or on Medium, or even just reach out to me and I might have a list of items and I can give you in addition to what I've given here in the resources section, or I might just put it in the Slack later on sometime. You can start there, and very soon you can become a core blockchain developer. This is not a a huge thing to become. That's what I'm saying, that just by doing this, becoming a very junior level core blockchain developer, you are actually getting into that 1 in 400, the number that I showed you earlier, that 0.25 or 0.30% of people who know something about blockchain, right? You easily get to become that. 6 to 8 months is nothing. Even 3 months, you can do this in 3 months. It's upon your dedication. Here, you should start understanding blockchain networks. You should be able to do something with blockchain networks like Ethereum and other public networks. You should know smart contracts basics, and that should be good to go. Then comes a very important role, which is of a smart contract specialist. As you proceed from being a core blockchain developer, you would see that you can easily okay, I think this is a question for Anjali. I think this is a question for you. I'll just go ahead. Smart contract specialist, someone who has now seen and written and read others smart contracts for a few months now, has some working smart contracts in picture, and this is how they are able to write more and more use cases in the form of smart contracts. What are smart contracts? Smart contracts are just like regular contracts, but in pieces of code. You must have heard about them. Pieces of code, they run on blockchain. Again, sometime you put something on the blockchain, be it a transaction or be it a smart contract. It's immutable, you cannot edit it, and that is why people believe if you're using smart contracts, people will have more faith in you, because they'll be able to see the smart contracts as well. It is completely open piece of data. You cannot hide anything that's on blockchain. All right, so that's a smart contract specialist. Again, 14 to 16 months, or maybe just about a year. And this, from here you start escalating your salaries, guys. This is the part where you start escalating your salaries a lot. You can also come up with a mid-level experience dealing with Ethereum networks, setting up nodes, increasing the number of nodes, setting up Kubernetes clusters, or taking up multi-cloud, taking a multi-cloud approach, and every different stakeholder has a different cloud platform, and you're setting nodes on them and then making a part of a single network, which is what we do actually. Our entire world blockchain is actually across Azure, AWS, and that's spread across banks, spread across governments, ourselves. So all these entities are there. It's a multi-cloud network that we have, and then there are multiple nodes which are connected to the single network called Whrrl blockchain network. So that's once you start working with the nodes from the DevOps perspective or the network perspective, you can get into a role where you can help with these actions, where you can see something goes wrong in a network, you can get things back up. Good thing about blockchain networks is that it never goes down until and unless the very last node is down. The way blockchain works is because they keep the same copy, replicate the same copy of the ledger across all the nodes. So even if 99% of the nodes are down, one node is remaining, you would still have the data and everything works. So yeah, this is something you can try out. What else? Those were very technical ones. What if you're not someone who is not very technical, right? Just be a product manager with some technical basics. You can really be a product manager in a blockchain company. At a junior role as an associate product manager, just in 4 to 6 months is enough. As I told you, just before becoming a core blockchain developer with some knowledge of blockchain networks, public blockchains, and then getting into a product role, you will become a junior blockchain product manager easy. In addition to that, spend more time and you'll become a senior product manager in blockchain who has worked with DeFi applications, worked with enterprise-based permission networks, who has worked across other public blockchains, and then you'll become a really good product person. And these people are also in high demand. Just look out on LinkedIn, look out on the job boards and see the kind of salaries, even, a product manager or even someone who's a designer of blockchain applications. What is different? Not much. If you're a designer of any kind of a UI UX developer or a UI UX designer, you would be able to get into blockchain. The only thing needed is an understanding of blockchain systems. Why? Because when blockchain apps, which are called decentralized apps, are a bit different. So when you design them, you have to keep those angles in mind so that you don't design it like a normal app where the usability decreases. Right. So yeah, with that basic, that's why 3 to 5 months, and easily you can become a designer, you can become an analyst of blockchain products, you can become an ops guy in a blockchain company. And to give you an example, these are all the roles that we hire. We are a blockchain core company, but every single person is not a blockchain engineer here, right? We have a sales and marketing who might be knowing very less about blockchain tech. And we have designers who know about or have interacted with other blockchain products and so on. The center one that you see here, smart contracts auditor, is by far, a very, very, this is not something I would really ask you to consider now, because as you can see, this is like 2 years into the future. This is like after working with multiple blockchain products across smart contract roles for maybe 1.5 to 2 years now. And then, when your understanding is very concrete with smart contracts, then you start auditing others' smart contracts and trying to find loopholes in that. That's the kind of job this is. Of course, takes a lot of time, but also gives in the most salary that you can pick from the market. But yeah, this is not one of the common things that people really go for. The most common things are either a blockchain core developer or a smart contract specialist. Just to give you an example, still, just to say that how much a single smart contract audit, one-time smart contract auditing, costs more than $40,000. And this is really a conservative number. It costs more than that, much more than that. One-time smart contract audit. And many big applications, many huge DeFi-based applications like Aave, Compound, you can go to their websites and you can see that they all have done smart contract audits from very good organizations. Just think about the kind of money that they've paid and the kind of money that those organizations or those developers have earned who have audited those smart contracts. So if something like smart contract auditing can give you this kind of a money, maybe in 2.5, 3 years, then why not start with smart contracts today so that you can reach that position? And it's not like it's a 2-year wait. By the time you become a smart contract developer, you start earning heavily as well. In today's session, I don't see any reason why you would not tonight start with blockchain technology. Otherwise, I'll really be failing here tonight. So yeah, that's the whole agenda. Towards the end, I think we have 15 more minutes to go. I'll be done in about 5 minutes more. So building a career in blockchain tech, very four straightforward steps, guys. I haven't gone technical here. You will find a lot of long Medium articles on the internet. If you are not able to find, or if you're anywhere perplexed, just reach out on Slack or directly to me on WhatsApp, LinkedIn, anywhere. I would be really happy to share you very exact resources. Everything is there on the internet, by the way, on YouTube. And if you're more fan of paid courses, you can search for them as well. There are many universities who offer paid courses. So it's the world's your oyster. It's all up to you what you want to do. So start with computer science basics. If you have a computer science background, well and good. If you do not, no need to be scared, because to be very honest, I teach a wide variety of people, of attendees. In the past, I have taught faculty, I have taught PhDs in computer science, but still everyone, be it that PhD or be it a very newbie who does not even have a computer science background, when learning about blockchain, all of those people have come and gotten stuck at the very same step, right? Either with consensus mechanisms or with smart contracts or with networks, they have gotten stuck there at the very same time. So it does not matter if you have a PhD in computer science or if you have a background which has nothing to do with computer science. You are in the same boat. So essentially, what you can do is just get some basics of computer science. How does code work? How does programming work? How do things like loops work? How do things like sequences work? All of this should give you a good idea to get started. Not more than a week's work, really. Not more than a week's work. Not 4-year degree or a course study, please. Then comes blockchain fundamentals. This is where everywhere I teach, I start with, of course. This is the first step that you need to take. The earlier step has to anyways be done by yourself. So yeah, this is the step that you can find everywhere happening. Many people teach about this. I do, with quite a few universities. They have free and paid courses. You can just search, and these things are really free and in good quality on YouTube, readily available for you to consume. Blockchain, right? As I've written here, it is different from the technologies that you've seen in the past, even if you have a computer science background. So that's essential. And at the end, you should go through, consensus mechanisms, say smart contracts, networks, public-private permission blockchains. Anjali, am I still audible? I just got a notification that my connection is a bit not good. Am I still audible?
Yeah, Abhishek, we can hear you, but your video is stuck. So, but that's okay. We can hear you. Yeah.
I'll just switch off the video for a bit. Let me see if it improves. Anyways, last few slides, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think some problem is there actually. All right. Just give me a second. Let me just change my network. 1 second. Hi Anjali, can you hear me now? Am I back?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Thank God. Right. Okay, great. So yeah, okay. So this is where we were. Quick basics of blockchain fundamentals takes time to learn, and you will get a list of. I have a list of items. I'll just share soon. Maybe take a screenshot and just get started tonight. Then comes tools. Then comes frameworks that you need to learn. Tools like Meta, you can see here. These are very tools which make your Chrome browser turn into, or Firefox turn into a blockchain browser where you can interact with blockchain-based applications, decentralized applications. Then comes, popular frameworks like Truffle. Truffle is a good suit testing and writing contract code. Hard Hat, which I've not mentioned, very good tool. Web
Hi, Abhishek, your voice is breaking.
And smart contracts is in browser ID private net on your say example. Yeah, some problem is there, but anyways, okay, I'll just try again. Is it
so it's breaking.
Anjali, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Abhishek, do you want to proceed?
You can.
So apologies, everybody, but you can understand that such things usually happen in the virtual events. So yeah.
Yeah, Anjali, I think there is some internet problem. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
The last 5 minutes, I don't know why this happened, but okay. All right. So just, even if I cut off from the voice, just read what's there on the screen, guys, and we next to. All right. And for you to maybe take screenshots, right? These are for you to just keep with you. And then at the end, learn to write smart contracts and build decentralized applications. All applications, just when you interact with blockchain, become decentralized applications. Start writing them. Start working on smart contracts. Nothing more important at this point in time than smart contracts. So just start with that. Take a screenshot of this, please. This is your laundry list of items which you need to go one by one, and then you should be good to go. And just quick confirmation, you're able to hear me, right, Anjali? Just yes, no?
Yeah, can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, guys, so this is one of the last slides, and we will skip first of all the hands-on part. We don't have time, and as well not the internet bandwidth, I guess. So yeah, this is the list of items. Start with understanding decentralization. This is what many universities teach as well. Even I teach these things in this order only. Then generations and types of blockchain. Mining, very important. Third point is very important for everyone. Then solidity or others, but yeah, start with solidity. It's the widely used language right now. And decentralized app development. Then get into use cases and ultimately any cybersecurity aspects that are there. Cybersecurity aspects like smart contract auditing comes into the picture when you're really well versed with blockchain in general. All right, guys. So yeah, so that's it mostly. I'm good to close here. The last slide, see the bigger picture. I'm not going in detail through this entire diagram, but in the interest of time, but just take a look how this diagram tells you where the core blockchain is present, which is down below here, the Ethereum node, the Ethereum blockchain. Then you can see that, on top of that, you develop your decentralized app, again, made of all the languages that you might already know: HTML, JavaScript, React, Angular, Node.js, all of them, MongoDB, everything, right? But yeah, uses certain RPCs, remote procedural calls, and frameworks like Web3. Web3.js, React, Web3.js, Ethers.js, and so on to interact with the blockchain. And then this is used by your consumer on a simple browser with a tool like MetaMask, as simple as that. This perspective should be clear. Once you are once you are able to get into all of these, get an idea of all of this, you are a good blockchain engineer. This is what is lacking in a lot of candidates that we interview. They know about consensus, they know about this, they know about that, but the bigger picture is missing in their site. This is something you should really focus on. Yeah. So skipping this, but all you can do is, after this class, or maybe just after learning a bit about blockchain, just visit a website like etherscan.io, which I've mentioned here. You can see here, etherscan.io. It's a public blockchain explorer of the Ethereum blockchain. Similarly, on Google, you could find blockchain explorers for Bitcoin and others. See what an immense amount of data is available on the explorer, in open, in public, but still everything is anonymous. You cannot, if I send 1 Bitcoin to Anjali, you will not be able to make out that which is that transaction where Abhishek sends 1 Bitcoin to Anjali, right? But everything else is open, and in such great detail. There are so many details. I don't think in the past, in history, we have found any such technology which is so open from a technical standpoint. Right. All right. So yeah, just maybe you can do that. No need to write these URLs. I will be sharing this presentation with Anjali and she can share it in the Slack as well. Yeah. All right. Quick myths about blockchain. First of all, people believe that blockchain is free. I'm reading myth 2 actually first. People believe that blockchain is free. Not really. Blockchain takes, first of all, blockchain takes courage to deploy. Even and especially if you're an entrepreneur and you want to set up a company, remember, if you're offering blockchain solutions, it is going to be tough to manage that entire network, right? So just don't start using blockchain because it is the hype word. Start using blockchain when you really believe that there is some use case where blockchain fits really well. Like for us, the millions of dollars of frauds that we save with using blockchain technology really, eclipses the amount of money or effort that we spend on maintaining a blockchain network. It should not be the other way around. All right. So yeah, mostly this other myth you can just read yourself. And yeah, happy to take any questions. I think we have last 7 minutes, and I hope now you're able to hear for some time. So yeah, let me. Okay. Hi everyone. If you have okay, can you recommend, Manjari? Can you recommend some online free courses or certification programs? Yes. University of Buffalo, State University of Buffalo, New York. They have a very good. I think they have a Coursera course. I think just search for it, yeah, the professor's name is Ramamurthy, Professor Ramamurthy, I think. So just search for that course. It's a really good course. I have not done it personally, but I have heard good reviews about that. It will give you a certificate as well. Similarly, there would be certain boot camps like Chainlink bootcamp or Ethereum bootcamp, Consensus bootcamp. So all these things I can write a bit here. So Chainlink bootcamp, then Consensus bootcamp. I think these are paid, but best part, just look here. YouTube has almost everything that you can do with blockchain. Learn about blockchain, and the amount of content is increasing, day by day. Right. I hope I answered your question, Manjari. Let me know if you have a follow-up question or if there are any other questions, guys. Okay, just I'll yeah, please do leave a feedback here. I'll leave this link in the wherever you felt that was good with the lecture or bad with the lecture. Just spare your 10 seconds. Request you to do so to fill this feedback form. Yes, any other questions, please? Happy to take them on mic or on chat. Yeah.
Hi, Abhishek.
Yes.
Yeah, I have one question. In the blockchain, there is two things there: permission and the permissionless. Okay, so I am the blockchain developer, and I'm working the both the things, permission and permissionless. Which one is the future of jobs? I'm working on the Hyperledger and some Ethereum, the both of things. Which one is the future? Is a permission or permissionless?
Right. So that's a very good question, Vinoth. And to be honest, both have a very good potential. I see permissionless as more doing at a very fast pace. So by the way, for the unannounced, permissionless means public blockchains like Ethereum, Bitcoin, then Monero, Dash, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, all these blockchains that you can see out in the public. And permission means something like Hyperledger or a blockchain built on Quorum like ours. World blockchain is built on Quorum, and these. which are used by B2B, which are used